everybody. So today we're going to speak about something called ADB-GUI-Tool that I hope will make your life as Android developer, as Android tester much easier than what it is today. It's me. I'm GDG Melbourne. I have about 5 years of experience in Android, a little bit more, and I work as developer, as a team lead, and as just a lead. I also develop applications for fun, and I have like a few games and a few apps on the App Store, and around $850,000 downloads of them. And you can reach me out in this email if you have any question about what I'm going to say or anything else. Cool. So what are we going to talk about tonight? We're going to talk about today about your sanity as developers, because it's really important. So during development, a lot of times you are not actually developing, but you're trying to get to somewhere. Like you're trying to develop a feature, but then you need to make your app ready for that feature. And we'll spend a lot of time doing the same thing over and over again, and we're not getting better or faster in doing it, because it's just like boilerplate things we're doing just to get there. So what am I talking about? Okay. So do you recognize this experience? Onboarding, you have the skip to get started. So most of Android apps or any other apps at all have onboarding experience in them. You want to show or explain to your user how to use your app. And even like when I say onboarding, I'm not talking only about this onboarding few screens you have in the beginning, but also whenever you write any feature in your app, you're probably interested to know how your user gonna see it for the first time. Like it's the first experience, because a lot of our users are the first people who are gonna see it for the first time. So how do you get to this screen if you already like have a phone and your app is installed in it, you worked on it, of course. So how do you get it? So it's really easy. You grab an icon, put it upwards to the app info section, and then press on clear data, right? So on my phone already, like on the Nexus 5X, when you get new update to Android 7, you don't have these buttons there. You need to go to another screen and then to press the button. On other phones, you cannot drag it upstairs. It just not exist. You need to go to the app screen, find your app, and then do it. So wouldn't it be nice just to have one button to do that? Let's talk about next case. So, can I have a show of hands? How many of you have a sign up in your application, please? Yay, thank you. So most of the applications have sign up, and you have a lot of experiences that depend on that. You're going to show some screens in a different way, if you're sign up user or not. If you're signing into your application, if you're not signing application, and also depend on the user stats. About 4 to 5 months ago, this is basically our application, by the way, the real commercial I'm working on. I work about a feature called Save Properties, which does what it says. You can save a property and then go back to it later. But you must be signing to see this screen, or to see a content in that screen. And if you're not, you see just a button to give you can sign in. So in that screen, there is probably about 4 to 5 states regarding whether you're a sign-in user or not. You can see the just sign-in screen. You can see a signing in process, or if you have properties or don't have properties. So there's lots of states you need to develop and test while doing so. So probably while developing it, I was signing in and out for like 20, 30 times a day. And after the 5 first times, I was like going mad about it. And yeah, this is how I looked. So I like after the 5th time, I was like saying to myself, I understand I'm going to do it a lot of times again, and I don't want to do it. I want to find a different way to just make it happen. Just find a quote before we go. Insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Cool. So, ADB. Anybody here can tell me what ADB stands for? Please.
Android debugging bridge.
Android debugging bridge, yes. So yeah, Android is debugging bridge. Basically, it's what your IDE gonna use when you're gonna push this play button. You're gonna install your APK through the ADB, and anything you do with the device basically from your IDE is gonna talk to this ADB thing, Android debug bridge. It has three components. It has a daemon that runs always on your device, on any device or emulator. It has the server that runs on your machine and the client that you're going to get if you're, again, developing an Android and installed Android Studio or whatever, you're going to get it inside it or with it. So as a client, we usually get a command line. If you have used it, I used it a lot of times before. And it can actually do all the things that I just mentioned before. Like, one of the problems when you're trying to sign in and do this kind of thing is like to use the keyboard over and over again. If you're like using the phone like I do to develop your app, you're gonna just struggle to put it in. So ADB can just send input, just write something, command line, press enter, and it's just gonna send it to your device. Of course, it can install an APK, uninstall an APK, and clear an APK, clear an app data. It also can open a shell, a Linux shell on your device, and this basically gives you like a lot of possibilities of other things you can do with that. Cool, so basically it solved most of my problems. So what there is to be done with it. So if you're just gonna press ADB, this is what you're gonna get. There's a lot of things that like, you need to know how to operate. There's a lot of command lines, and even I work with ADB for 5-6 years already, like, since I started, and I just remember like few of those on top of my head. On other things that if I need to do, I just go to Google and say how to do that. Also, if you want to do the things that I just wanted to do, like I just want to fill up a form. So I want to have an input, then I'm going to want to press tab, go to the next one, then get another input, another tab, and then an enter. Then you're going to do it over and over and over again every time. So it's not really easy to automate this in this kind of batch commands and stuff like that. So what you can actually do is you can actually create a batch file on Mac and batch file, and just have all this command line one after another and just operate them. And that's actually what I did that day. And but the problem with that I found it's not really maintainable. You want to change it, you want to send it to people to use it, you need to explain what to do, and it's not really that simple and nice. So ADB-GUI-Tool. So ADB-GUI-Tool is what I wrote after that incident. Yeah, so it's a nice GUI tool around ADB that should give you all the abilities you want to do and to automate this kind of stuff. Soon to be open sourced is something I wrote when I gave this presentation 2 months ago for REA internally. It's already open sourced and you can just check out the source or download just the binary, go there and use it. Oh, this is how it looks. It doesn't have a slick UI or anything or a good UX. Sure not, that's going to be done later. So what it can actually do for you? It can do this automate thing I just mentioned. Run batch of commands you will create and just run it on your device. It can clear your app data with a single click. You can install APK through it. You can uninstall APK through it, and much, much more. Go well. Demo. So this is our RC application that I mentioned. And let's say I just want to sign in right now. And let's say I want to have a different user. And what I didn't mention, this works on the emulator as well as a device. If you see there on the right side, you have like an emulator. If I would connect my device, you're going to see another one there. So you can switch between them and just have multiple connected and just send event to them. So I just select what command I want to run, and we can see that this basically deletes field content, enter username, move to next field, enter password, and press enter. And well, I'll just run it, just doing all of these things. Just made my life much easier. And the nice thing about it is, when you also develop these kind of features, your QA gonna come to you one day and gonna say, this happens to me, and you cannot reproduce it because it happened only on her account. So what do? You just add, you just do copy. Here, sorry. You copy it, you lop over like something like that. You copy all the parameters. You just change the name, change the username, change the password, and then you don't need to remember it for next time. That was the way why I have these different accounts here, not mine, because we have bugs in different accounts that was hard to reproduce on ours. So it's really easy to do that. Cool. So this is the batch command section. You can also create new commands. Okay. So to create new command, it's like what I said before, one of the problems is you don't want to worry about syntax and you don't want to remember the syntax. So there is something called command wizard. It's going to happen over and over again. So it's basically something that should help you to not go to Google. You always can go to Google and find out some crazy commands and just put them there and they're going to work. But if you want to go to the basic, this is the basic I added, probably going to add more. You have an input section that you can just say, I want to input text, I want to press tab and go to the next element, I want to press enter, or one of those that I just added for fun. I'm not sure they have any value, like volume up, volume down, these kind of things. You can also say, I want to be able to push file on my device. Like if I want to create a device for testing, like I want to create a device for testing from nothing, I can just make sure that the file gonna be pushed, like some configuration files. I can install an APK or clean the data first and then open the app, and then you just connect an empty device, run the set of commands you just created, and you have a device ready for your tests. We use it actually for bug batches when we want this experience to be from scratch. Cool. That's the command wizard. So that's what you can do in this batch command section. You basically create the batches and run them, and yeah, it just executes it for you. Next we have the application section. Here you can see all the apps running on your device and do some things with them. You can clear the app data. You can also do it from the commands, of course. Everything you do from here, you can create a command for that, like a batch command. But if you don't wanna automate everything, or you don't want to do it all over again, like if I have just an application I just found and I want to see their own onboarding experience, I'll just go here and I'll just do clear up data and open, and then it's going to be here with the onboarding experience. Of course, for our application, I always have it here. Yeah. Anyway. So what we can do also, we can uninstall the app, kill its process if it's a debuggable app. It's really helpful if you want to find those memory problems you're going to have if your app goes to the background and Android is going to kill it sometime. It's going to mimic that, and then you can go back to the app and then it comes from the memory. It's a good way to mimic that. And we can also get the APK. Whenever you install an application on an Android device, it will store its APK on the device, always. So basically you have all the APKs of your whole application are on the device. So if you want to get something on the device, from the device to your laptop, you just press that. If it's green, it means it works, and then it's just going to show up here. It's an APK that it's already on your machine, and you can install it on different devices. You can be obfuscated and see if there is something interesting that your competitors do. Yeah. I didn't mention, but before that I work in ADB-GUI, antivirus company, so yeah. So the last thing you can do here, you can run a monkey test. It failed badly the last time I did it, so I'm not sure I'm supposed to do that, but let's try. Let's hope it works. It's basically going to run a simple monkey test on your application if you want to see if it's not crashing quickly about like user input or something like that. That's a bit handy tool that you've finished a feature, you want a quick test, just run it. Or do crazy stuff. Okay, so APKs, this is going to be the APKs you just get from your device. It's actually a folder near your application. So you can put any APK you want there, and you can also say you can add passes, different passes to your application. So then you're going to see all you can just add a path to your delivery place, and then you're going to see all your going to add the passes here, and then you're going to see all your release applications, versions or whatever, and you can just install which one of them you want on your device. And you can also, as I said, deobfuscate. Let's deobfuscate our application with actually deobfuscation to that, so that's nice. So you can see all the code here, and before starting a new job, I usually deobfuscate the app and see what the guys are doing in the manifest, just to know what I'm getting into. You can also send intents. If you have deep linking in your app, it's really not that nice to test it. You have a new link, a new configuration, you need to send this link to your device. You send an email, and then you just hope you send it with the right parameters. If not, you send it another email. It's not nice. So again, with the ADB, what I'm just doing, I'm just opening this link on the device, and because it's a link that has this nice ending, it should open inside our app, because it's actually a deep linking. So if I want to check a deep linking that goes inside one of the properties, I'll just use that. Or just any other URL. This is just the regular, we're not doing deep linking, it will open in our website. Just a nice way to get deep linking. We have a log and exception section, which from its name self-explanatory, and it's the thing that I didn't put much time to do, but we can actually see all the logs on the device. Right now we cannot filter here or do anything, but there's one interesting thing you can do. We have a crash button on our app, just to test the crash report system. So if I crash the app, and on developer version of course, and to find exception, it will jump to the last exception you found on the device, and you can see it's me doing something that's called crash app. Makes sense? And then you can, from here you can just save the file. This can be really handy if you're QA testing an app and you just don't want to look at the logs or do whatever. Just need to make sure that it's actually the app you're looking for, because there's nothing smart behind it. Just go into the last exception. You can save it to a file and just upload it to the Jira ticket or send it to the developer, let him know what happened. Also have just a terminal, just an ADB terminal if you just want to, have some fun, just trying to understand what commands do you want to do, like what thing can you do, or like if you want to test stuff and you don't want to open a terminal for some reason. That was handy for me to do it just right here. We can just run ADB commands there. You can also take a snapshot. It's working good with me. Cool. You can just take a snapshot, and this view will just continue to update itself, so you don't have to do it at the right time. It just goes there, and it doesn't have the best rate right now. You just press save, and then you just and you can see it saved it here. You can again send the bug to the developer or ask the UX what to do, the UI person what to do. You can also, something that may be interesting to some of you, connect your device via Wi-Fi. If I connect my real device here, you cannot do it with emulator of course, but if I connect my real device to USB, you will see it here. Then I have only one button to press, and then I can disconnect the USB and continue working as if it's connected. To be a little bit slower, but if you have a reason to do that, that could be nice. And again, as I said before, you don't want to automate everything. So if you, for some reason, want to run something, just send it to your device. You can just do it from here and not do this crazy batch command, something that will take you probably time to do. Yeah, that's basically what the thing do for now. Back to the slides. So, what's next for this tool? Sending Intense UI and ADB command wizard. Again, this is what I wrote when I did this presentation 2 months ago. As you already said, it's already there. So the things I'm going to probably concentrate next will be talking directly to ADB server. This probably I need to talk about a little bit. Right now it's just running these commands as command line. Like, it's not going directly. As I mentioned before, we have the daemon on the device, the server on your machine, and the client on your machine. So what's happening right now, we're not talking to the server as we should. We're asking the client to do the work for us. And it's kind of hacky and not nice because I need to, every time I get a response, it's a string response that you're going to get in your terminal. And you just need to parse it, and it's really buggy and cause a lot of bugs and instability with the application. So I'll probably need to remove this client, this middleman, and just talk directly to the server. Also want to improve the log exception panel just to make it more usable, to have like search field, stuff like that, and of course improving the UX. Every person I give it to basically said it's really nice, but they don't understand it from the first time. It's really hard to operate, especially the things that I didn't show you, like creating these batch files. It's just not as a human would expect to see it. Yeah, there's a lot of other features that probably can make it. Like as I said, ADB can do a lot of things. Mostly whatever you can imagine it can do. It can grant permission, revoke permission, and all of these kind of things. And whenever I actually probably going to work on my app on something that will need that, I'll add features. It's an open source already, so you can just go there and contribute, or else just ask for features. And yeah, that's it. So. Questions? Yes?
So how do you share the configuration with the rest of the team?
Yeah, I missed that part. Right now, there's no like a nice button from the app or something, but everything you just saw, it just saves as a JSON on your apps folder. You can just send them, they just take the JSON, put it to their folder, and they're just going to have it. It's really simple. Probably should have like a button or something to do that, to edit like the file to an email or something like that. But yeah, it should be really easy.
Is it a Swing app?
Yeah, unfortunately, what I do for the last 8 years is Java. Not unfortunately that, but unfortunately Java have right now is JavaFX. It's the new thing, and it's horrible. It's really it's horrible looking, and it's horrible to develop in.
Any thoughts on creating plugins for IntelliJ or like?
I thought about like plugin to IntelliJ, plugin to Chrome, but I did what was probably the fastest thing for me to do, to get the POC running, to see if there's going to be any interest in this kind of thing. And if there would be, they're probably not going to be continued in
How much
JavaFX. I don't know, this is like the first talk about it, so we'll see.
It's on GitHub though, right?
Yeah, but it's on GitHub for a week. About. I prepared it to this point, like I use it internally, and then yeah, we'll see.
Can you share the GitHub link again?
Sure. Yeah. I'll post it into the group.
Sweet.
Yeah, the GitHub and everything around it. More questions?
All right, cool. Thanks.
Thank you.